Lotta on Troublemaker Street. Chapter 1. Everyone is mean to Lotta. One morning, shortly after her 5th birthday, Lotta woke up on Troublemaker Street, angry from the very start. She had had a bad dream, and Lotta thought that what you dreamed was true. "They hit my Bamsy," she cried. When Mother came to see, when she was sitting in bed, making such a racket at 8 o'clock in the morning. "Who hit your Bamsy?" asked Mother. "Jonas and Maria," said Lotta. "Lotta, dear, it must have been a dream," said Mother. "Jonas and Maria have gone off to school. They certainly didn't have time to hit Bamsy." "But they did. Even though they didn't have time, I saw them," said Lotta, cuddling poor Bamsy. Lotta's Bamsy was a fat little pig that Mother had made of pink cloth and given to Lotta on her 3rd birthday. Bamsy had been clean and pink then, but now he was dirty and looked like a real little pig. Even so, Lotta was convinced that Bamsy was really a bear and insisted on calling him Bamsy Bear. "Ha ha! It isn't a bear, it's a pig," Jonas kept on saying. "You're just silly," said Lotta. "He is a bear." "That's what you think," laughed Jonas. "What I would like to know, Lotta, is whether you think he's a polar bear or a regular bear." "I think he's a pigly bear," said Lotta. "That's what I think." Lotta loved her pigly bear. At night he slept beside her, and when Jonas and Maria weren't around, she talked to him a lot. Lotta was convinced that Bamsy was lying on the pillow feeling hurt because Jonas and Maria had hit him. As she stroked him, she cried and said, "My poor Bamsy, I'm going to give Jonas and Maria a real licking for this." Jonas, Maria, Lotta, Mother, and Daddy lived in a yellow house on Troublemaker Street. Every morning, Jonas and Maria went to school, and Daddy went to his office. Only Mother and Lotta stayed home. "I'm so glad I have my little Lotta," Mother would say. "Otherwise, I'd be all alone in the house." "Yes, you're very lucky to have me," Lotta would agree. "If you didn't, you'd be all alone in the house, and I'd feel sorry for you." But Lotta didn't say that this morning, not when she was so angry. She just sat there, pouting and looking very cross. It was time to get dressed, and Mother brought the striped sweater that Grandmother had knitted for Lotta. "Not that one," said Lotta. "It tickles and scratches." "No, it doesn't," said Mother patiently. "Feel how soft and smooth it is." "It tickles and scratches," said Lotta without touching it. "I want to wear my velvet dress." Lotta had a light blue velvet dress that was her Sunday best. She wanted to wear it even though it was only Thursday, and a very ordinary Thursday at that. "You can wear it on Sunday," said Mother. "Today you'll wear this sweater." "Then I'd rather go naked," said Lotta. "Suit yourself," said Mother, and she went downstairs to the kitchen. So Lotta stayed behind in the kitchen's room, naked and furious. Well, not exactly naked. She was wearing an undershirt, a pair of panties, stockings, and shoes. "But except for that, I'm naked," said Lotta to Bamsy. He was the only one she could talk to. "Lotta, you can come down and drink your hot chocolate now," Mother called from the stairs. "That's what you think," Lotta mumbled, and she just kept on sitting in the same position. "Answer me, Lotta," Mother cried. "Do you want your hot chocolate or don't you?" Now this was just what Lotta wanted. Mother would keep on coaxing Lotta to drink her hot chocolate, and Lotta wouldn't answer. It gave her a good feeling not to answer when Mother called. But Lotta really was hungry, and she did want her chocolate. So after a while, when she felt Mother had waited long enough, Lotta picked up Bamsy and went downstairs. She walked very slowly, stopping on each step so Mother wouldn't be too sure. Maybe she would drink her hot chocolate, and maybe she wouldn't. "I'll see how I feel," she told Bamsy as she marched into the kitchen. "Hello, Lotta," said Mother. Lotta only stood in the doorway and pouted. Mother must see that she hadn't stopped being angry. Not yet. Usually Mother and Lotta had breakfast together in the kitchen. It was always so gay and friendly there, and it looked so inviting now. The sun was shining through the window, and on the table was Lotta's very own cup filled with hot chocolate. Next to the hot chocolate was a piece of toast, covered with red raspberry jam. Usually Lotta talked all the time, but now she didn't say a word. Mother sat there drinking her coffee and reading the paper. She didn't say anything either. Finally, Lotta sighed and said, "Well, if you really want me to, Mother, I'll drink my hot chocolate." "I'm not insisting at all," said Mother, "and besides, you should get dressed first." Before, Lotta had only been angry. Now she was furious. Here she was with nothing to wear except an awful old sweater that tickled and scratched, and now no food either. How badly they treated her. "Bad Mother," said Lotta, and stamped one foot. "Now, Lotta," said Mother, "that's enough. Go upstairs to your room and stay there until you are ready to be good again." Lotta let out a howl that could be heard all the way over to Mrs. Berg's house. She stormed out through the kitchen door and up the stairs to the children's room, screaming the whole time. Next door, Mrs. Berg shook her head and said, "Poor little Lotta must have a tummy ache." But Lotta didn't have a tummy ache. She was just very, very angry. She stomped both feet, thoroughly outraged. Suddenly, she saw the striped sweater lying on a chair. It looked scratchier than ever. Lotta pushed the sweater onto the floor. Then she stopped. She became very quiet. Next to the sweater lay a pair of scissors. Lotta usually used them to cut out paper dolls. Now she took the scissors and slowly cut out a big hole in the sweater. "That's what you get," said Lotta, "because you tickle and scratch." She wiggled her hand through the hole and frowned. How big the hole was, and how terrible to see her whole hand stick out where no hand was supposed to be. Suddenly Lotta was afraid. "I'll say that a dog made this hole," she said to Bamsy. She held the sweater in front of her and looked at it for a long time. Then she picked up the scissors and cut off one arm. "I'll say that he also chewed it to pieces," she said. She held the sweater up and looked at it again. Then she picked up the scissors and quickly cut off the other arm. "What a bad, bad dog," said Lotta, shaking her head. But now Lotta really felt afraid, and a little bit sick inside as well. She rolled the sweater into a ball and stuffed it into the waste paper basket. She didn't want to see it any more. "Lotta, have you decided to be good again?" Mother called from downstairs. Lotta sniffled her nose stubbornly and said to herself, "Not in the least bit." She took Bamsy in her arms and hugged him close to her. "It serves them right, Bamsy," she mumbled. "They're all so mean to us." Lotta knew this wasn't true, but if you had just cut your sweater to pieces, you did need something besides a dog to blame it on. "Everybody is mean to us," said Lotta, stretching out her arms. "That's why I cut up things." She glanced over at the waste paper basket. "Besides, it was a dog anyway," she said quietly. End of chapter 1.